better get ready, better get ready. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait to see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Raise up a white flag. Didn't come this far just to turn back. The curtains fall for the last act. Breaking that levee, breaking that levee. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait to see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait to see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
It's explosive. You can't control this, no. I got metal running through my bones. A resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on the battlefield. A survivor, never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked. No victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new Click It RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at Click It RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
LSRTV, your home for sim racing, welcomes you to the FEG PC Custom Wednesday Night Super Speedway Money Series. Daytona, Talladega, Daytona, and tonight we're back at Talladega Super Speedway. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our coverage. I'm Wesley Outland. Jason Rockefeller is alongside. Charles Wooten is in the Click It RV broadcast studio in Texas. We're ready to go to bring you coverage of round 4 this evening. And Talladega, Jason, obviously super speedway racing at its finest. We're really beginning to have a lot of fun covering this Wednesday night series in their Race 1 program.
Yeah, it's been really fun to call these races, obviously, the last handful of weeks. I'm very excited, obviously. To really see how it goes. I mean, last week we saw a fantastic race, obviously, from the Daytona International Speedway. I mean, Damon Gilbert able to hold off Aubrey Thompson by just 29 hundredths of a second. And boy, was that a wild finish. Everybody getting turned on the last lap, crashing, coming across the line. I'm sure it's going to be one hectic race and an exciting one for us up here in the booth tonight as well, like we've seen countlessly over these last few weeks.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Let's take a look at the Hunt the Front TV race information for tonight. Of course, the program, and I'm understanding that it is not available. So let's just take a look at the weather conditions presented by Kaufman Creative. Thank you for my glasses. 78 degrees, track temp at 100, and partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-per-hour wind. It's going to be a nice, comfortable day. A little cloud cover, not much. Sun back out again on virtual Talladega Super Speedway. And, well, we'll see how it all shakes out, man. This has been some really, really racing we've called the last 3 weeks or so. And, ready to see what this guy can do. One of our original friends from the Swag Series back in the day. Matt Lee's in the house, the PSRsetups.com entry. Let's see how he'll go in qualifying. And right now, it's all about Jason putting down the perfect lap, obviously. in qualifying. But is it though? Because obviously super speedway racing, you got to run it differently than just kind of like something like Kansas or like last night or a Charlotte or Texas for that matter.
Yeah, you have to. Usually that first lap, you usually want to be all the way up against the outside wall on your out lap, and then coming down to the green flag, you kind of you can really run it one of two ways. You either can come down into the tri-oval and obviously get right down below that, or not below, but rather about a couple feet off that yellow line. Remember, you don't want to be directly right on it, because you touch that, that line, it can really upset the truck. You can lose, thousandths of a second, hundreds of a second just by hitting that apron once. Or you could just dive it down to the bottom by the time you start getting down the front straightaway, like you saw Larry McDonald do. So I have never really been a good super speedway qualifier. I've always been a very good super speedway driver. Qualifying is always something I never really got down. But definitely, if you want to start up towards the front, you have to have a good qualifying night. But this is Talladega, and like we've seen in the past, you can come from the back to the front pretty easily. But we've seen consistently, Wesley, over these last few weeks, most of the same drivers we've seen up at the front have always been up the front. You look at drivers like Brandon Broadfoot, Aubrey Thompson, trying to get the victory lane, been so close here the last few weeks. Andrew Navarro, John Ward, just to name a few others. You usually have that same crowd up at the front of this field, but I mean, you just never know what can unfold here at these super speedway tracks.
Larry McDonald, the McDonald's Toyota, just finishing up on his qualifying lap. Good enough for third, 56.050 seconds. The Floridian, Andrew Navarro. This driver has been on to finish in the top 3 podium for every event in some shape or form, with a win as well. And Navarro finishing up with his spot, going to P1. 55.966 seconds. Quicker than everybody right now by about a second here, Jason.
Yeah, no surprise. Obviously, Andrew Navarro's been so fast there in that Premier Racing setups. Number 42 Toyota Tundra. And Matthew Lee goes up to the second position up on the board as well. He is only about 400ths off of Andrew Navarro's lap time, but that was a very, very, very good lap by Andrew for sure. He knows how to get around here. So does Matt Lee as well. Others, I mean, you just look at this field. It's been stacked here the last few weeks. A lot of the same guys keep coming back. We have some new drivers as well. And again, qualifying, very important here. But remember, you have to be patient. You have to get up towards the front. And you have to do it in a very timely manner. This is no different than a C-Fix race at Talladega. You're only going to have 35 laps to get to the front of the field. Oh, and by the way, these guys only 0.5% of what the maximum fuel load would be, so they're going to be running 50, so they're going to have to pit twice here. So make sure you have friends, because if you come down pit road and you're not with a group that you're very familiar with or that you don't like pushing you, you're going to be in big trouble.
Matthew Baker, good enough for second, 55.997. 55.966 the pole for Navarro, and the qualifying clock is ticking down to less than 20 seconds remaining. Hey, by the way, 35 laps, that's all it is. A 35-lap race, by the way. There will be a second race that will not be broadcast on LSRTV later tonight. If you want to jump on board the fun, FEG, PC, Custom Race Leagues and Events on Facebook. And then, of course, they're also on Discord. You can follow us at LSRTV until you get banned at LSRTV on Facebook, X, and Instagram as well. The field is getting ready to roll. I'm sorry, Charles. I had to throw that jab in there. If anybody didn't know, I've been banned on Facebook for 6 months, and I don't know what the hell I did wrong to deserve it. We're ready to go racing now for 35 laps. Let's give you the starting lineup, and I'm understanding, is there new intro music? There's no intro music. Andrew Navarro is on the pole. It sounds so different without any music, doesn't it, Jason? Navarro is on the pole. Matthew Baker on the outside. Couple of Chevrolets and Toyotas. Row number 2 will find, of course, row two. Matthew Lee and Richard Elliott. Row number 3, John Mollahan, as well as Justin Mills. Row 4 on the grid, Logan York and Larry McDonald, the 01 to the 80. And your top 10, Jason. will sound like it will be Danny Barnes in the 7 and Blaine Dalton in the 11. Now the dulcet tones of Jason Rockefeller for the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, all the way down to 21st. Row number 6, you got John Anderson, Brandon Broadfoot, just talking to him a handful of moments ago. He's excited for tonight's race. Row number 7, Damon Gilbert. Remember, fast last week at Daytona, and he obviously got that win. And then you have John Ward in the number 92, been so strong at the super speedways recently. Row number 8, Dylan Jones, same goes for him. Chris Parkman in the number 8 machine. Row number 9, it's going to go to Aubrey Thompson, been so close. Can he get it done finally? George Bark in the 54 as well, who was really fast there at the end last week, got turned head onto the wall in the last lap out of 4. Row number 10, Joseph Allen, Kenneth McCullough Jr. in the number 03, and rounding out the field in row number 11 rather, on the inside, driving the 05, Joshua McCullough, and that will be your 21 trucks that will start here tonight at Talladega.
There's the lineup again as the field will get a couple of preliminary laps before we do take green. 35 laps the distance here as we begin to pace the field with the Premier Racing setup, Celebrity Cruises, Toyota number 42 of course, the Floridian Andrew Navarro. And this man has been on a tear as we move into tonight's events here at Talladega. Pacing the field behind the pace car. The lights are off, which lets let everyone know that we come into the green flag this time by. And you know, Jason, we've said this 4 times already this year. We'll say it again. You know, 35 laps. You know, I know it's not a lot of amount of laps here around this 2.66 mile Talladega Super Speedway. But with that being said, you got to find a way to have some patience here. At least try to get to the halfway mark, and then start being aggressive to get to the win.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be something we're obviously going to see a lot. I mean, really, what we're talking about, Wesley, is a lot of the same key, factors we've been talking about these last few weeks. Obviously, tonight, we bring it back to Talladega, where we started for the first race of the season. Obviously, keep swapping back and forth between Daytona and Talladega week after week, and now we're back here. It's going to be interesting. Remember, these guys are going to have to pit twice for fuel. I believe they only have 1 set of tires to use, but obviously fuel is going to be the key. You're not going to have to pit 4 tires, but fuel you certainly will have to, and you better have a pack or at least some friends head down to pit road, because we've seen how strong that draft is. If you want to get back up to the front, you got to have a good crew behind you and in front of you as well.
Let's see where it all goes now. Ready to go in the tri-oval. This is virtual Talladega. 35 laps, green flag, and we're underway. Navarro with a punt from lead. Side comes Baker, and they're going to do-si-do and 2-step up to 34 degrees of banking into lap number 1, and Navarro's up in front as they work the 2.
Push there from Matthew Lee, and also Mollahan right on the start of this race as they head back into turn number 2 down the Alabama Gang super stretch. Matthew Lee decided, I'm going to pull out of line. He's going to take the race lead as they head into 3 for the first time with the field go the speed of upwards of over 180 miles an hour through 4.
Down into turn number 3. Lee jumps up in front. The 0-4, Baker, Navarro in tow to the inside. Outside lane trying to get something started. No one can shake it up yet. Give lap 1 to Lee. 34 to go at Talladega. Baker on the tailgate. Lee to the bottom to the double yellow line, and they work their way back into the corner into 1.
And Matt Lee's got some great help behind him from Matthew Baker, so the 2 Matts, 1 and 2. Now here comes Richard Elliott. He's going to work to the top side with help from Logan York and others back behind him as well. Everybody jockeying for position, going side to side. There's Brandon Broadfoot. He's going to be the lone soldier to go out there, but he's got help from behind him from John Warren, the 92, 3 wide. Now they're going to put him in a sucker hole, not the middle, but rather the outside. He'll get shuffled out of line as they head back down the front straightaway to complete lap 2.
back into the tri-oval. Remember, Talladega, you got to work your way through the tribal down to the end of pit road. On the pit lane exit to go to the start and finish line. That's right where they were just at. Richard Elliott giving a punt full to Navarro. Here comes the outside lane, the inside lane. It's McDonald's. It's the 80 machine McDonald down to the outside. Follows. Elliott works the back stretch now off 2.
Yeah, and everybody's just going to be double wide here for a little bit. And obviously, you want to make sure that you hook up with the right people, but you also want to make sure you're not making any aggressive moves early on in this race. I mean, remember, we're only on lap number 3. These guys are going to have to pit not once, but twice, and you're going to have opportunities to get up towards the front. Obviously, you can get up towards the front right now and set yourself up to be coming out of pit road when everybody does on that first and second attempts, going down to the pits and coming out when the green flag cycles, and to be up at the front. But remember, you cannot be too aggressive, you know, because if you're too aggressive, you could create controversy, and we could see a massive wreck like we've seen here last week at Daytona.
A little bit of a glitch there. We'll try to keep an eye on it. Let him come off that corner, trying to go 3 wide behind them in the back now. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Now 3 wide. Navarro back to the lead. Another lap in.
You see Matt Lee right there, Wesley, up on the bottom side of this racetrack. Everybody going 3 wide. It's Lee, John Ward, and Andrew Navarro there in the middle side. But look at the run that John Ward got pushed all the way to the race lead from Chris Parkman, and Blaine Dalton was nearly there as well. So they went all the way from the top lane, 3rd up at the top, and 3 trucks nearly got around. Blaine Dalton trying to get past Andrew Navarro, though they almost have an incident right there coming off the corner, but they're able to save it, and they head back towards the tri-oval.
It is now 3 wide. 2 rows up in the front, trying to make it possibly 3 if they can get up there. And it's still now John Ward showing the momentum on the bottom as the new lead man. Elliott, now Navarro in the middle. York up on the outside. Oh, he drove to the bottom of the racetrack. What a close by Ward. Through the block on York. And what a save on him as he goes to the lead in the 3.
That was really, really interesting right there, but obviously the whole field able to keep it back going. You see Richard Elliott there in the middle with help from Blaine Dalton, Andrew Navarro as they work back into the tri-oval this time. Chris Parkman giving the push from to John Ward rather, and then all the way up at the top you have Logan York, Brandon Broadfoot, 3 by 3 for the race lead back in the 1.
3 by 3 by 3. John Ward to the inside. That teal, green, and black machine. Now tucking back under that. It's going to be the 54. George Bart will get back to that inside row as they work into 3. Blaine Dolph will follow. Behind the Monster Energy number 8 machine at Chris Parkman. And meanwhile, they're trying to go 4 wide. Could he get up there? No, he won't. It's Ward. He leads him off the corner out of turn number 4 as they come to the line. Jason, this time by lap number 7 of 35 here at Talladega.
Yeah, and you're probably going to see these guys start to really settle down, start to get in line, because they know around, you know, that lap number 12 to 15 mark, they're going to have to start pitting. You see 2 separate packs right now. One that's trying to get settled in together, and the other behind them trying to do the exact same thing. Brandon Broadfoot, Logan York, they're at the top of this line right here, headed out of turn number 2 while the second pack catches up to them in a quick, fashionable manner. But these 2 up on the outside, they want to get down to the bottom as quickly as they can. Logan York does that, and Blaine Dalton nearly just squeezed the 10 for a moment. John Ward as well, back into 3. They're 3 wide there, battling for the 4th spot.
Another lap on the board, Andrew Navarro. Your leader right now. He's in that top spot. Navarro, Ward, Jones, now Ward, Navarro, York. Put another lap on the board. Now the middle lane starts to come to fruition with a shot by York. Gives it to Ward. Now they get back to the bottom. It's going to be Navarro now as they work off two, and the man in the middle is getting wiggly.
Getting a little bit wiggly for sure there. You see York moving down to the middle lane, wants to try to go down there. Here comes Matt Lee up at the top of the racetrack. He's got help from Matthew Baker as well. Back behind him, other drivers trying to see what they can do up on the top side. But boy, oh boy, these are some very aggressive moves here, Wesley, in the middle of this pack, trying to get in line and figure out who they want to go with.
Who you want to be? Who's he going to be the guy that'll help you push to the front? 10 laps on the board next time by. Working on 9 now. John Ward is now the leader. They stay to the inside. Navarro right there, nose to the bottom. Dylan Jones will follow. Battle for 4th and 5th. Elliott Lee side by side off 2.
Back down this back straightaway, you see Matt Lee trying his best right now with help from Matthew Baker up on the outside. They're making that outside work, you know, just a little bit. They're not able to get to the race leaders. I think if they can get another 2 trucks behind them, like you see these 2 behind them doing, they might be able to go and challenge for this lead. But I think right now, this time in the race, I don't know if it's the best idea to really go up there and battle for the lead hard. But again, these guys are going to have to pit twice, so you're going to have that group on the inside that's probably going to elect to come to pit road first. And guys up on the outside, they're going to have no choice, Wesley, but to stay out and go an extra lap or 2 before coming to the pits with their group as well.
Yeah, those pits will be coming up here in about less than 5 laps. 10 laps in, 10, top 10, Matt Lee, Matthew Baker, John Ward, John Mollahan, Andrew Navarro, top 5. Bottom 5 includes Dylan Jones, Chris Parkman, Richard Elliott, Brandon Broadfoot, and Logan York. That's how it stands, 10 and 25 to go, and it should be opening within a handful of laps as they work their way off of turn 4. Coming down to the line. Who might be able to go for the undercut, possibly? I don't see anybody dropping onto pit lane just yet. As you see the scoring pylon, here comes the cavalry working through turn 4, back to the line. Matt Lee up in front as they work into turn 1.
I think, Wesley, that you're going to start to see some guys probably come around the next couple laps or so. I mean, there's just no point for them to really come down, obviously, right now. It would make this a very tight window for them, and you would really be out of the draft and not wanting to put yourself in a tough position to go a lap down or really, you know, have a bad pit stop. So you wait a little bit, see if anything happens, you know, and obviously go when your window completely opens, because the window is pretty much going to be wide open this coming time around. Not this time, but next time by. I think you're going to start to see maybe a couple drivers possibly pull into the pits, but remember, 2 pit stops, so we still have that one you got to get through. And we've seen time and time again, so tricky to get down on the pit road at the super speedways. Meanwhile, battle for the lead back up at the front of the field in the 1.
3 by 3. And now, inside, Matt Lee. Got some company, though. Mollahan along. They're going to try to make it 4 wide. Will they? Nope, not yet. That's Dalton up on the top shelf. Holds on to it. Look at this nice pack, all organized. 3 by 3 in the front, behind them 2. And then single file tandem from there. And they're all hugging the double yellow line to the bottom as they work up a turn number 4. Matthew Lee. Navarro got pushed all the way back to the top 10 in the back in 9th now, Jason, as they work their way through the tribal. Matt Lee to the inside as they work back to the stripe.
Yeah, back down the front straightaway into turn number 1 they go. Matt Lee has the race lead. He's also got help from Matthew Baker back behind him. I expect these 2 guys to probably work together tonight as Matt Lee cuts off the top lane, that being the middle. Nearly got sent around going through turn number 2. You see a lot of jockeying for position, and Matt Lee looking like Brad Keselowski out here, going from top to bottom, trying to be the Pied Piper and lead them all around here in Talladega.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying the Pied Piper from the top shelf down to the inside. He's the man in the lead. Here comes Mollahan right alongside Baker. And here comes Ward. Ward, some other drivers peeling down to pit lane. Here's the first round of green flag pit stops. And here they come, led by Richard Elliott. Ward is in. Others, including, in addition, in the back, Aubrey Thompson, Justin Mills, Larry McDonald, and Danny Barnes. They're in. The leaders are on the back straightaway, though.
Yeah, everybody, though, coming into the pits this time, just going to be fuel only for some of these guys. Or actually, no, we got some tires going on for some of these guys. We're going to have left sides only for some guys. Very surprised by this call, but I guess you might as well take left sides if you're going to be taking a full tank of fuel there. So very interesting to see some of those guys taking on those left sides. Expecting some guys to come down this time. Here they come, led by Matt Lee and all others. Andrew Navarro trying to go really hard into the braking zone through the pits. We got one around. That's the 05. Josh McCullough around into the grass. No caution. He loops it back around, but he has damage to the right rear of that 05 Silverado.
McCullough spinning, wrecked, damage on his truck as he comes onto the pit lane. Navarro, Baker, Lee, Mollahan, York, Anderson, Dalton, Broadfoot, Jones, Allen, and McCullough all pitting. And this puts Bark down, the new leader. Look at the race off pit road. Matt Lee in front of Navarro. 20 to go at Talladega. So you would think with about probably, I don't know, lap 30, you'll see him pit unless we get a caution with under 10 to go.
Yeah, more than likely, Wesley. I mean, these guys are going to have to pit around the 10 lap to go mark. For sure, you see these four drivers road right now. Mark taken out on that last lap at Daytona last week as the leader coming off turn 4. He leads David Gilbert, who won last week, Kenneth McCullough Jr., and also Chris Parp into the pits this time as well.
More drivers coming in, and those drivers we mentioned. Jason said coming on pit lane. This will cycle back around to this group of trucks. Ready to come back to the front of the pack, led by Matthew Lee all up under the back end of the 02 machine. As they cross the line here. Going past all the other machines that just pitted. Boy, oh boy, look at Mollahan under attack. The 20 machine, it's a 02 on the track. The wrap job, timing and scoring as of as a 20. But John Mollahan, now the new man out in front. Matt Lee right there behind him, so is Navarro. And there's that about a dozen trucks working their way into turn number 3. Jason with about 18 to go this time behind the line. Halfway.
Yeah, now really it's just a race, Wesley, for just seeing who could maintain, stay up at this front of the field, and then pit together when they have to, around under 10 laps to go. Remember last week we saw an overtime finish, and it was absolutely crazy. The racing we saw there at the end caught us by a couple of stragglers in the back of the field, and it sent us into overtime, and we had ourselves a crazy, hectic finish. That was just absolutely wild. Hence, the Wild Wednesday Money Racing Series. I mean, Damon Gilbert able to hold off Aubrey Thompson by just 29/100ths of a second. Dylan Jones finished on the podium in third. It was a very interesting race. Saw a lot of comers, a lot of goers last week. Could be the same way here tonight as well in the late stage of this race.
It's the FEG PC Customs Wednesday Night Super Speedway Money Series. LSRTV coverage from Talladega just after halfway. Let's give you the full field rundown as they are halfway. Everybody's kind of calmed down now a little bit. Matt Lee, the leader, Toyota. Toyota Andrew Navarro in second. Dylan Jones third. Matthew Baker fourth. John Ward the top 5 in Chevrolets. Then you got Chevrolets across the spectrum in the top 10, including Jason, Richard Elliott, Aubrey Thompson, Justin Mills, John Mollahan, and Logan York. The top 10 is Jason gives you the rest of the full field rundown after halfway here in Talladega.
Yeah, Kenneth McCullough Jr., Damon Gilbert trying to be up there as well. Last week's winner, he's 12th. George Bark, 13th, trying to rebound after a heartbreaking finish last week at Daytona. Chris Park and Brandon Broadfoot, who's usually up at the front, he finds himself 15th. Danny Barnes, Larry McDonald, Joey Allen, Blaine Dalton, Joshua McCullough, and then John Anderson, your full 21 truck field rundown here.
Matt Lee, the man in the lead. Navarro, who has been consistent on both wins and podiums since the season fired up. He leads the cavalry in the number 2 spot, led by Jones. Baker and Ward, they're all the top 5, and they're all single file. They're hugging the double yellow line as they work their way into turn 3.
Back to turn number 4, obviously, like we said, guys are just going to stay single file for a majority of this. And whoa, what is this? Here we go. We got some guys coming into the pits. They want to try to undercut this big time. This is crazy. Look at this. I wonder if this is going to be the strategy to where they want to all stay together, because they know that all four of them can be really well organized together and get to the front. They're really experienced in the sim. They feel confident enough, Wesley, that they can pit right now, fill up with fuel, and they can save just to get to the end. You remember last week, Dylan Jones, all others as well, leading with 2. They were 2 seconds off the pace because they had a strategy similar to this, and they were going to make it. And then the caution came out. So this could be something that could play a huge factor in this race. And look at this. Wow. Here comes the rest of the field. They want to try to do it as well. John Ward leading some of the field in.
Yeah, Ward's bringing the cavalry on the pit lane. I mean, monkey see, monkey do. And I got to think this, if they could do it this way and not have any problems undercut-wise, that first pack might put themselves in position to do it. And see who can win this race, as Barkover shot his pit stall. So did the 0-1 machine of York. Got a little too ahead, had to back up, but here's the exit off pit lane by Mills. He's in 7th. And while that goes on, there's the rest of that pack now. This is your new leader, Danny Barnes with McDonald and Allen and Broadfoot right there. And you got to wonder now, Jason, will these top 4 come onto the pit lane now with 14, 13 to go at the line this time by here at Talladega? The answer's no.
Not this time, but they might. And I have a feeling that they might have thought about what happened last week at Daytona and think to themselves, okay, well, we're going to have to pit one more time. Maybe we shouldn't take that strategy and be the race leaders for when the caution comes out. But, I mean, you never know. I think they're just banking on a caution for sure. Or they out far enough with them 4 trucks to where they feel like they can be very well organized, make up some time on the racetrack, and when they pit together, they can get grouped up really quickly rather than a pack of 7, 8, 9 trucks. I mean, when you have less trucks, obviously you're not nearly as fast, but you will be faster if you are really well organized, know what you're doing, and obviously have the help around you that knows what they're doing.
Danny Barnes in that top spot, holding on to that lead as they work their way down to the tribal to the start-finish line. Working lap number 23, 12 laps to go, count them. There's Barkley. He's trying to come after Allen, and everybody is all single file. There's that second pack, led in the top 5 by Matthew Lee, Navarro, Baker, Jones, Mollahan, Ward, Mills, right there, all in that pack. Actually, correction, that's Ward in the back. And then you got Mills in that third pack. It has separated everybody here around Talladega.
Yeah, and it definitely has. And I mean, now with 12 laps to go, I mean, we've already seen part of the green flag cycle for the second time around completely go. I mean, it really is. It's a chess game, Wes. So that's the thing when it comes to super speedway racing mixed with the pit strategy. It becomes an absolute chess game. When do you pit? Who do you want to go with? What's your strategy like? Do you think something's going to happen? There's so many factors that go into the pit strategy aspect here. Obviously at these super speedway type races, and you don't want to obviously give into a bad strategy. You want to make sure that you set yourself up for the win, but also make sure whoever's around you is on the same page, and if they're not, the heck with them. There's nothing you can do about it, but that's why you're seeing all these different packs all over the place, just because guys getting in and out of their box not as good as some others, and also some that are just more trustworthy of others. Look at this move to the outside down the back straightaway. One truck getting out of line. I want to say that's possibly Dylan Jones there, getting out of line, trying to make something work. He's going to make him too wide almost on the top off four.
Trying to break away from Mollahan. Mollahan now tries to get something started up on the top side with Ward. And Jones, all these drivers working now. Mills up on the outside, correction. And they are working to the line. 10 laps to go. Talladega. It is shootout time, and there's a little sweep, a little shot there by Baker. Holds on to it. There's the lead to the 3. We got action everywhere. Charles is going to have a migraine trying to keep up with everything going on around the track.
Yeah, he might have a little bit of a handful right now. There's action definitely all over. And here comes this last group. They're going to stay out. And oh, man, some of them might miss this pits here. Oh, man. The 23 was definitely speeding coming in the pit road.
Yeah, I think Allen just got busted for speeding on the pit entry. Barnes and McDonald might have been able to get on the blockers in time. But new leader, Broadfoot, 10, Chevrolet, Baker, Mollahan, Matt Lee back to 4th. Mills the top 5. Here's your new pack, and we're in single digits now. 9 to go down the Alabama Gang super stretch.
Yeah, look at Brandon Broadfoot now. He is all lonesome out there. He has no help but that 56, who's a lap down of Anderson. Behind him, 9 laps to go. I mean, he's going to have to pit. It looks like I think he meant to pit last time around, Wesley, and he, I think, has a little bit of damage to the front of that truck. Yeah, he does. You can see it right there. It's pushed in just a little bit. So Brandon Broadfoot very well could have just taken himself out of that race because of what happened.
Little damage on Broadfoot. No penalty called on the twin Allen. I can't believe that. I thought there had been a speeding penalty. They didn't call an EOL. And meanwhile, Baker, a little shot there by Mills. Mollahan to the inside. He peeks. Mills up top. Scampers from Baker. Ford will follow. So will Parkman. Inside lane. Broadfoot in the lead. Mollahan, Navarro, Jones, Thompson all to the bottom.
Yeah, that was a big moment there down the back straightaway, and everybody's starting to get loose. You see the 2 of Mills nearly lost it off the front bumper of John Warren as they head back to the start-finish line. This is going to be the race for the win. Brandon Broadfoot has just come into the pit, so now what you got is what you got. 7 laps to go from Talladega.
Unless they stack them up and wreck them. And it was almost 2 times that's happened. 7 laps to go. It's John Mollahan. The 0-2 machine time and it's scoring shows him as the 20. Couple of slow machines up on the front. Up on the top of the safer barrier, they play. Have at it, boys. 2 by 2 by 2, they storm into 3. Navarro back to the lead on the outside.
Very, very interesting race going on up here in front. Some of these guys doing an all hold nothing right now towards the front. Andrew Navarro goes to the rail, jump down now to the bottom to pick up. That would be Dylan Jones, I believe, or at least one of the other trucks, maybe John Mollahan there on the inside, back to the line. Justin Mills able to lead at that time by as they head back into turn number 1. They're still double wide for the race lead, Wesley, with 6 to go.
6 laps to go. Navarro. Now Mills flanked to the outside. Here comes Ward. Giving a punt to the tailgate on Mills. Punt to the tailgate on Mollahan to Navarro. And now they're trying to get it organized and try to go 3 wide for a second. Ward started to get something on the top. He couldn't get there. He's way up high. Hold on to it, guys. Wow, 5 to go here at the line. This time by as they work off the tribal. That was a move there by Elliott. who gave a shot to Ward, and somehow they heather through the tribal. 30 laps down. Open hand from your flagman. Here tonight, Talladega. Navarro trying to win again. Here comes Mills. Here comes Lee. The outside starting to work again as they work into one.
With 5 laps to go, it is now crunch time. You got what you got, and you got to make sure you get to the front and stay there. Navarro doing what he's done best here these last few weeks. Got caught up in a wreck on the last lap at Daytona last week, trying to rebound tonight with another victory back down the Alabama gang. Super stretch into 3. Navarro goes from bottom to the top, blocking the number 2 of Mills, while the door is opened up for John Mollahan off 4.
And look at the outside lane by Ward. He's now hooked up with the 5 of Baker. And Baker's got up the Lee's tailgate. And they're 3 by 3 by 3. Look at this. 4 to go. Monkey in the middle. Navarro, Mills, Thompson. One wrong slip and you've got a crash. Baker sideways. Mills holds it together and gives him plenty of room. Mills now lead. He'll pull up in front of him on the back straightaway.
And you got to think, Wesley, something's got to give at one point with everybody blocking one another, switching lanes as fast as they are, like you've seen Matt Lee, Andrew Navarro do. Some of these guys know what they're doing, but one little slip and all could go wrong, and you could take out the whole front field. Off turn number 4, though, Navarro leads over Mollahan. Oh, and there goes Mollahan, hard to the wall. The big one at Talladega, multiple trucks involved.
You knew it was bound to happen. Trouble, turn 4 in the tribal. Big trouble, and a lot of trucks tore up. Caution out with 3 to go. Wow, here's a look at it. Jason, it was a storm brewing, and you knew the lightning was about to strike, and then all of a sudden, no one had nothing else to do but just try to hold on, close your eyes, and get out of this mayhem. Here's a replay.
Yeah, and it's so hard to tell from that angle, Wesley, if the number 20 machine came up the racetrack of John Mollahan, or if maybe
a bump trap.
I just don't know. Here's one more look at it again from another angle.
Oh boy,
and
no,
it's really tough to tell.
Man, it looks like Matt Lee hooked the left rear. It looked like Matt Lee got into the left rear. Or the right rear, actually. Correction, the right rear. Right rear is what I meant by Mollahan. Look at this right here. This will tell the tale. There it is. Bam!
Oh, he went to side draft him.
Wow.
He went to side draft him and just misjudged it. One came up, the other came down, and they just collected themselves. It's a common misconception, too, Wesley, when you come to racetracks like these where you're like, I got a side draft. And a lot of guys don't think that it can really go wrong. But next thing you know, you'll have some guy on the bottom. He kind of gets off the line just a little bit, maybe moves up a couple inches. But those couple inches that you move up, while you're up on the outside of that driver that's coming up off the yellow line by a couple inches, he doesn't know you're trying to side draft him in the corner, and then you just get it. Definitely just a racing deal. Matt Lee had nothing that he could have there besides race his own race, and then obviously we all saw the chaos that unfolded.
Drivers in the back behind the top 10 have came to the pit lane. We'll resort it out. We'll take a quick break and we go to overtime. The FEG PC Customs Wednesday night Speedway Buddy Series. The finish from Talladega next.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race on Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
At Click It RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Looking to the inside of Turner, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway, nearly does.
Last night the track was very slick. You know, we had 2 good grooves.
But anyway, just another some of that.
There's people in the stands. That means there's people watching.
Oh my goodness, we're going to go to overtime. Very calm race until probably about 10 laps to go, and then it all started to get crazy and chaotic, as it always does at a place like Talladega. And right now, ready to reset things here with a first attempt at overtime. Here, I'm Wesley out with Jason Rockefeller alongside. There's your Virginia811.com race summary of the event. 1 caution just a few moments ago, coming to 3 remaining, and then the accident happened, or 4 to go actually. And of course, 17, count them, Jason, 17 lead changes, and what has been a very entertaining race here tonight at Talladega before the accident.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no doubt about it. It's been absolutely insane. You know, the racing we've had up here, up at the front of this field, the 2 green flag cycles we had. I mean, these guys really took the undercut, and I didn't really expect it. And you just saw underneath the caution, a lot of guys were saving some fuel. Maybe, God forbid, they couldn't make it to the end of this race because of that undercut. Because they didn't plan on this race, obviously, going caution. You know, some guys do, some guys don't. It's going to be interesting. Andrew Navarro has a very good chance up here at this. But really, honestly here, Wesley, I think that this top 4 is probably the strongest, that we've seen in quite some time. We've seen countless leaders over these past few weeks. Andrew Navarro has been a big part of those. So is Dylan Jones. But these 4 drivers up at the front, they've stayed there pretty much the whole race. It's going to be really hard to get around them if you're another driver.
Lights off on the pace car. And it's peeling onto the pit lane. Safety vehicle gets out of harm's way. We're ready for overtime. Remember, the rules are simple. Leader takes the white flag. Racing back to the finish. Rutgers or checkers. Second attempt, third attempt, if a caution comes for the white. Field is frozen after 3 attempts. And the field will be based by that order for finish. Ready to go. Navarro, can he do it again? The FEG PC Custom Super Speedway Wednesday Money Series. Back to green. Navarro up in front. Here comes Matthew Lee, though. Side draft works. Baker right there as his wingman as they work in 1 and 2 there, Jason.
And Navarro's got a really good push right here from Dylan Jones. He just has to make sure that they stick together right now, especially that top 4. It's all going to be about who you go with. We're seeing double wide right now. Oh, and boy, Dylan Jones nearly got turned for the field. Andrew Navarro goes up to block. Will we see 3 wide here in a moment? We're coming into 3 and 4, coming to the white. We have 1 more attempt at overtime if need be, but these guys are storming off Wesley. They're coming off turn number 4 to take the white flag.
They're working through the tribal to the inside. Here comes Dylan Jones. Jones with some help from Bart below. White flag in the air. This is it. Race official. Next time by, it ends the race. Wreckers or checkers. Navarro outside. He powers along Jones. They are 2 by 2 by 2 at full song down the back stretch for the final time at Talladega.
And Jones has a really good run. He's got great help from George Bark last week at Daytona. Wanted to win. Turned on the last lap. Will he have a shot? Then you have Matt Lee pushing Andrew Navarro. The edge goes to Navarro. Turns 3 and 4 for the final time. What will happen? Wesley, they're going to be side by side coming off turn 4 to the checkered flag.
Clark below the bottom of the apron. He got spun. Getting loose. Thompson got sideways. He wiggles and giggles back into the battle. Here comes now Navarro to the inside. Matthew Lee from Clinton, Maine to the outside. Oh! He is there. They door slam each other. Finish of the race is Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee. And they're crashing in turn 1.
I would
Lee
say, have
makes
you ever?
it work on Navarro.
Oh, man.
What
What
a
a race!
finish.
What a finish!
0.01 at the line. Holy cow. Man, oh man, right through the travel. That's worth another look at it. Clinton Maines, Matthew Lee, right there, they door slam. And Matthew Lee made that work on Navarro, and he picks up the win. And then they try to go 4 wide behind the leaders, and then they wreck going into turn 1 of the cool-down lap. Man.
And here's the thing, Wesley, too. When they were coming through 3 and 4, you're going to see Andrew Navarro right here. He gets clear of Dylan Jones coming off turn number 4 at one point. He gets that from Matthew Lee, and then he jumps down, and I was kind of wondering, I don't know if that was the best move to jump down like that. And then all of a sudden, Matthew Baker gave just a heck of a push to Matt Lee and nearly sent him around, but it was a big enough push to send them to victory lane here tonight in the Martin Sports number 04 machine.
And then they were 4 wide behind them for the finish of the race. And then when they go back into turn, they were still 4 wide. Of course, all of that is unofficial now, or official because it doesn't count with them crashing. The race is over. Here's a look at the results. Okay, so timing and scoring updates only for us on SDK for live timing to the nearest 10th. So the 1,000th of a second here is still pretty damn close. Andrew Navarro over Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee over Andrew Navarro, my apologies. Look at this, Jason. 0.007 thousandths of a second. Matthew Baker, 3rd. Dylan Jones is 4th. Aubrey Thompson is right there in the top 5. And they were right there within a 10th of a second of one another, along with Richard Elliott, Logan York, Chris Parkman, Kenneth Collins. All those trucks, Jason, right there in the top 9 in a shot to win the race over Matthew Lee. And they come up short with Danny Barnes in the top 10.
Yeah, rest of the field, PL11, John Ward, just not the night he wanted for sure. Justin Mills, same with Brandon Broadfoot, Allen, McDonald, Dalton, Gilbert, Bart, McCullough, Anderson, 20th, and then rounding out the field there in 21st would be John Mollahan in the number 20 machine there in the 21st position, 5 laps down.
And one more look at the race summary presented by Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care. 1 caution, overtime, 1 attempt, 19 lead changes, and even 1 ride at the flag stand coming to the checkered flag. And only 3 caution laps again. The winner, Clinton Maines, Matthew Lee. We will holler at him another podium when we return coverage of the FEG PC Customs Wednesday Night Super Speedway Money Series, LSRTV. And don't forget, if you want to run for some more big money, they got another race coming up in less than 20 minutes from right now. Welcome back, Talladega, FEG PC Customs Big Money Super Speedway Series, LSRTV. Jason Wesley here with you. Charles did a great job in the production of the wild race and overtime when it's said and done. Matthew Lee picking up the win. We'll grab him in a moment, but first, let's grab the podium. Anybody could have won this thing. Matthew Baker seems like week in, week out, man. You're getting better and better. You're taking being on the podium tonight here at Talladega.
Yeah, I thought after that second pit stop we were going to have a chance to get away pitting early, but we had both packs follow us in, and they were able to really train together and get together, get back to us. Unfortunately, couldn't have another green flag run, but I'm glad that green, white, checkered went out, because there's no way the front 4 was making it on field for another stop. So hats off to the front 4 up there, Dylan and Andrew, and my teammate Matt, and I getting it done there and having a good battle to the finish.
And Matthew, obviously they're coming off turn 4. You gave a heck of a push there to Matt Lee off turn number 4, and it looked like I thought that he was going to probably, hold his ground, and maybe you were going to pull out a line. Do you think there was anything you could have done besides those two wrecking come to the finish to pick it up?
I think my best shot at getting the podium spot was staying tucked behind Matt there. I kind of went up the hill because I saw Thompson behind me trying to split 3 and get to the outside of Jones, and I knew that wasn't going to work because he was going to get right behind. Luckily, I didn't get hooked. I got enough space in between myself whenever I went to the outside of Matt. Got him a little bit loose down the hill, so apologize for that. But didn't affect the finish. Was still a really cool, really tight finish to watch.
Gotta say, Matthew, like I said, brother, getting better and better week in, week out. Obviously, what do you attest the momentum, Swift, of getting, doing well the last couple of weeks, and obviously putting yourself in the catbird seat to possibly soon pick up a win. Thank your sponsors also.
Yeah, I just think that it's about consistency. Running a league race is way different than running a weekly money race. Even though it's weekly for money here, trying to just finish in the points and keep your truck safe is the biggest key, especially with no fast repair. But we were able to do it again and get a P3, just thanks to Coasting Thunder, MBG Motorsports, Baker & Son Construction, thanks to Martin Sports, Matt Lee, my teammate, and good racing up front with Andrew and Dylan, and some other guys up there, Logan and Kenneth, mixing it up there at the end. A lot of fun, and thanks for you guys for putting on the broadcast.
Matthew Baker will settle for the number 3 spot here tonight in Talladega. Let's go to the runner-up of the event, the Floridian, who has at least finished on the podium or won in every event so far in the FEG PC Customs Wednesday night Super Speedway Money Series. Andrew Navarro. Navarro, your take of this race, obviously it was pretty calm, cool, collective strategy-wise. And then, of course, the overtime, but you hold them off to finish in second. So close, man, winning the race. 0.007 at the line over you and Matthew Lee. Your take of the runner-up spot.
Yeah, it's a really fun race, pitting with Baker and Matt. Really. We executed really well. It just sucked because the other 2 packs followed us in almost immediately. Many laps to get a gap, so it's just kind of one big pack, and then obviously you kind of get what you get from the pack. We had a good race. Could have played it a little bit differently at the end, probably win, but I had to pick up my teammate Dylan there, so he didn't get trained on the outside. So overall happy with a P2 and a good points day.
And Andrew, good job, man, on coming home P2 tonight. And I was thinking to myself when I was watching it live timing, and then also on the replay, you came down to the bottom out of the coming into the tri-oval rather. Do you feel like that was your only option coming into the tri-oval? Because I was like, oh, he should have stayed to the outside maybe. But I mean, when you're the race leader here, man, you know best as I do, especially, once you're the leader here at these super speedways, you're just going to get put in the sucker hole one way or another. Do you feel like there was anything differently you would have done there coming through the tri-oval?
No, not really. I went to go down to pick up Dylan, and then obviously Matt Lee was probably getting really hot. You don't want to blow anybody's motor up. And that was the best case scenario for me and Dylan finishing in the money. And obviously if you stay in middle, there's a chance that you can get past on the outside. So that was the best option. I went for it, and all 4 of us actually finished in the money. We're somewhat working together with Baker and Lee. But yeah, it was a fun race.
Certainly was a good one, man. I'll tell you what, you've got to like, being consistent, making a run towards the championship. Are you thinking that right now, or is it just still too early in the year?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. I don't know if there's bonus points or anything, but being consistent makes you feel a whole lot better, too. And obviously, there's money just up for grabs during the race. So that's a big thing, and we made money tonight, so I'm happy about that.
Sponsors.
Yeah, Celebrity Cruises, 7 Seas, Martin Sports, Adrenaline Captors, Bladed for making the paints, keep my family downstairs. You guys for broadcasting, Lee and Baker for pitting with me, and Jeff for putting on the lead.
There you go. Andrew Navarro. He'll finish in the number 2 spot. Victory Lane, the Clinton main driver. Of course, Matthew Lee gets it done. He, door side drafted on the man right there. Of course, Navarro at the line made it work, and he wins the race by 0.007 seconds over Navarro. Matthew Lee, welcome to the FEG PC Series. And you said in pre-race you were going to be the man to win this thing, and I'd be darned if you didn't do it, but it wasn't easy, was it?
No, it never is against those guys. Andrew, Dylan, I mean, they're tough. McCullough group, and, you know, just positioned ourselves and didn't get screwed for once at the end.
Yeah, and Matt, obviously congratulations on the win, man. You talked about it before. You said, I'm just out here making money, man. Here you are tonight, coming home P1. Haven't seen you race in a while, man, and I'm expecting, hopefully, you return next week, man. But how do you feel like it was out there tonight with how aggressive everybody was, how all the moves were being made? Because it was fun for us up here in the booth for sure, no doubt.
First of all, with the update, it was a little different. I mean, I think we all spent the first half of the race really learning what the truck was going to do with the update. I noticed the side draft was definitely a little stronger than I think we're all used to. So, like, when I was able to pinch down someone's door like Andrew at the end there, like, it absolutely killed the bottom guy. And it didn't seem as strong going up the other way when someone could get to, like, your left rear. So, you know, little differences like that at the beginning of the race, I think everybody was trying to adjust to, but
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, man, obviously got to be excited to get a win here in this series, and good competition with everybody you had racing around you. I know there was the crash there to put up the overtime, but for the most part, very, very respectful, consistent driving by everybody and your peers tonight, definitely.
Yeah, that was definitely fun about this race. It wasn't the typical wrecking like we've all come accustomed to the last couple weeks, and hopefully, you know, we can all keep it going forward like this, and you know, it's fun to race. You know, nobody wants to see these races run cautions and be part of the cautions. So.
Well, man, congratulations, Matt. It's always great catching up with you. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors on the 04.
Yeah, first of all, I got to thank Baker for the big push at the end, and Andrew and Dylan for pitting together there. Worked out well for us. I got to thank all the guys over at Martin Sports. Scott's a great dude. Anyone looking for sim racing clothes, jerseys, anything like that, check them out. martinsports906.com. You guys for putting on the broadcast. It's been a blast catching up with you guys tonight. Jeff for putting this on for us, and all the guys that show up week in and week out.
Yeah, big fun time for sure. When it's all said and done, it is Matthew Lee picking up the win here tonight at Talladega. Want to be a part of the FEG PC Money events and leagues? Go online to, of course, Discord. Join them on the Discord channel, and you can also find them on Facebook and contact Jeffrey Ford directly. Good show tonight. On back to Daytona next Wednesday night as we midway through the season and the holiday Christmas months approaching upon us as well. Jason, always fun working with your brother. Your final take in tonight's race again. And again, a exciting one, good strategy. In the end, Matthew Lee comes up on top.
Yeah, great one for sure. No doubt about it. These guys always put on one heck of a show for us up here in the booth over at LSRTV. Looking forward to Daytona next week. I'm sure it's going to be just as chaotic and exciting as we've seen here in these recent weeks. Looking forward to it, my friend.
It's going to be a good one. That'll wrap up also our week of broadcasting on iRacing on LSRTV. Follow them at LSRTV on Facebook, X, and Instagram, at iRacing as well on all of those social media platforms. For Jeffrey Ford, for the FEG PC Money and Events Leagues, for Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, everybody behind Rocket Racing Media and iRacing on LSRTV. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. For Jason Rockefeller, this is Wesley Outland. Congratulations again to Matthew Lee, winner tonight at Talladega. We'll do it again next Tuesday with the Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge Series.